well, and kind of a left to right action at times. And let's get going here. Louisiana Tech and LSU. This will wrap up the tournament. By the way, interestingly enough, Louisiana Tech will spend the night in Baton Rouge. They're going to work out on this field tomorrow morning. They're going to practice right here before they go to play McNeese. They're on spring break.
Softball teams are very accommodating to each other, and you know, that's...
I think it's great.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's Elena Rogers, a solid 4-14 at the top of the order. 12 base hits and 29 at-bats. They've all been singles with one exception.
So
that was a double.
Play McNeese Tuesday?
I think so.
They just played them in this tournament, but it's a good scheduling, so you don't have to come down from the northern part of the state again. You know, Louisiana's so huge.
Well, I think as you say, it gets people involved.
Well,
they got LSU's permission to use the field.
Well, spring break has everything to do with it.
And of course, LSU has the indoor facilities should the baseball or should the softball weather turn bad. Lynch this year is making her 4th appearance. It's also her 4th start. She's had 1 complete game. She's thrown 14 1/3 innings.
And no question, the last time out was the best that we had seen her throw.
She's only allowed 5 hits in those 14 1/3 innings. 7 walks, that's been a little bit of a problem, and 13 strikeouts. The opposition, though, is batting a minuscule 106 against her.
Got a tremendous rise ball. But she walks the leadoff hitter here.
And that always gets your attention when the leadoff batter gets aboard on walks. This will bring on Claire Rayleigh, hitting .309, 7 driven in. She's already had 3 triples and 3 home runs. That's pretty good stuff out of a second place hitter.
Good looking Tech squad here. Good bunt, does her job.
The throw is just in time to the second baseman covering. Sierra Daniel hustling over, and a good lead throw to her. So the sacrifice is successful. And Tech will play station to station at least early. This brings on Alexis Gillio. 489 is her average. Esom, who's next, is also hitting 489. Strike 1 from Lynch.
She's got 10 RBIs on the season so far.
Gillio has 3 extra base hits. They've all been doubles.
Of course, some injuries in the Tiger infield has given way to some freshmen playing in some key positions.
So ready or not, here we come with the freshmen, right?
That's right.
They appear to be ready. The 0-2 pitch is steered outside. This young lady, Gillio, is hitting .500 in situations like these, meaning runners in scoring position.
And those substitutes are Maddox McKee at third and Sierra Daniel at second base. And they've done a great job so far.
That's chopped right back to the circle. The throw to third, out on a close play.
Kind of a high tag, but I guess she got her in time. But, you know, Lynch, what a great play by Lynch. Knew exactly where the runner was and mowed down the lead runner. Let's see where this tag is.
Let's take another look at this.
I mean, the ball does beat her.
I think the proper call was made.
Yep, and no argument from Louisiana Tech.
Rogers did not hesitate from second base. And that surprises me a little bit. I thought she might check up on a ball hit sharply right back to the circle on one hop.
Yeah, you don't want to make outs at third base.
Here's Esom, a senior from Bossier City, about an hour west of Ruston. That's popped up and a chance for Carson. Hannah makes the play with Gutierrez right there as well. So, one base runner on the lead walk, but it did no damage. Louisiana Tech fails to score in the top. McKee is at third base. Hannah Carson is catching and hitting eighth. And Sierra Daniel is at second base. And this is Brooke Melnichuk in the circle, a Canadian from Saskatchewan, and someone who possesses some pretty good velocity and a nice drop ball.
She's by way of Iowa Western Community College. She's going to throw a lot of drop balls. She's going to be a real aggressive. She does have a rise, so her range is 65 to 54. And you see that drop ball, so that posture is always on the front foot.
And a bit herky-jerky in the delivery.
Yes.
Her numbers have been excellent, Yvette. 1.48 ERA. That's really good.
I bet it's freezing in Saskatchewan
Oh, I bet it is too.
right now. Blah.
This is her 6th start, her 9th appearance. How about this? Only 21 hits allowed in 33 innings. The opposition is batting a meager 175 against her. She has walked 7, so her control has been really good as well. And she has struck out 21.
Let me give you a stat here in a second about her mother. I might as well tell you now. Her mother won a silver medal in arm wrestling in a world competition.
How about that?
At her high school. She didn't have softball, so she played hockey and basketball.
And won a silver medal in arm wrestling. So far, that goes as the best trivia we've had this year.
Absolutely.
That's the best we've had this year.
You're right. And of course, Randy found it. Nice play.
Very nice play by Hamoudi at shortstop. In the outfield, it's Caitlin Cooper in left field. Alexis Gillio is the center fielder, and Elena Rogers is in right. Claire Rayleigh at third base. Aubrey Sini is the first baseman. Nicole Hamoudi is the shortstop, and her counterpart on the middle infield is Caroline Easom, with Brooke Diaz catching and Brooke Melnichuk pitching.
She's chucking.
Chuck is chunking. Yep. The outfield pretty deep and straight away for Newland. You can make the case that she's been the best clutch hitter for the Tigers this year.
Oh, I think she's, right now, you'd have to say MVP of the team. Of course, Berzon's kind of got a valid argument for that, but the everyday player, Newland, has been dynamite.
404 is her average, 20 driven in. That's second on the team behind Pleasance. And Newland waved and couldn't catch up with that one.
We don't have the gun in this game, but you're right, Newland couldn't catch up with that one.
19 base hits for Newland. That's second on the team. Tied with Briggs. And Pleasance. Gutierrez leads the way with 20. That pitch was outside. Diaz brought it back over the plate. But you know what? Here's the deal now, and you've questioned me, and I've given you my opinion. You ask any umpire. When they see the glove move back over the plate, they know it's a ball. If it weren't a ball, the catcher would just hold it there.
But I see catchers doing it all the
time.
Oh,
they do it, but it has no influence.
I still see the umpires calling a strike.
Well, they saw it as a strike then. But that's the key. You know, you ask any umpire. They see the catcher move the glove.
Oh, yeah, that
it's
makes
a ball.
Sense. That makes sense, but okay, I'm going to find one. I'm going to find one to point out.
That's a pretty good pitch,
isn't it? It's a
it?
very good pitch, and if she lives there, it's going to be some low-scoring game here tonight.
Here's Taylor Pleasance.
She's a pretty good pitcher so far. I'm impressed.
Strike one. Well, she has some giddy up.
Melnichuk from Saskatchewan. Blah, blah, blah.
Pleasance can be called upon to make contact, that's for sure. She's had 51 at-bats with only one strikeout, and that was...
She looks like she's throwing a little harder than 65.
You know who she reminds me of? Raylan Chafin. Not with the windup, because this one is a lot quicker and a lot herkier. But she kind of, the stature reminds me of Chafin, and then the ball which kind of explodes out of her hand. Pleasance was caught looking this weekend for her first strikeout of the season on a questionable pitch, if memory serves, but she's only fanned one time. She lines this one into left field, and a galloping grab is made by Caitlin Cooper, and the Tigers go down 1-2-3 in the first inning. We are scoreless, Louisiana Tech and LSU. Winds blowing in sometimes and a little bit left to right at other times. And we play in the second inning, Louisiana Tech and LSU.
But
Aubrey Sini is the hitter for the Bulldogs.
It's been a fabulous weekend to play softball. We've had good weather. All of the games have been on time.
That in itself is a rarity in this tournament situation. Sini, Hamoudi, and Neal are scheduled to hit for the Bulldogs. Lynch is able to slide one by her. You know, it's interesting, Yvette, the Bulldogs are the nickname for all of the teams at Louisiana Tech, all of the female teams and the men's teams, with the exception of the basketball team. And they, for years, have been known as Lady Texters, and they've stayed with that.
Well, they made their reputation as that.
That's their national brand for sure.
Absolutely. The world knew them because of women's basketball, Kim Mulkey, and all those national championships when they were so outstanding. And that's, you know, you brought that up, and it's kind of a, I'm not going to say a sore subject, but in Lafayette, everybody became known as the Raging Cajuns. Well, the Lady Cajuns had made a national mark as a softball team. Everybody in the country knew the Lady Cajuns, and that was kind of my argument too. You know, we have a reputation, but
and a very popular, well-accepted nickname.
But now, you know, it's all Raging Cajuns, which is fine.
Here's the 2-2 pitch.
But once you make your reputation, you kind of want to keep it.
Sini is leading it off. Lynch walked the first batter and then got the next three in the first. Hamoudi is on deck. The 2-2 pitch. Off the plate.
So I had to run out and give my former bat boy a hug. He was my bat boy a couple of last years here, and he's now a junior at Louisiana Tech.
Well, that's wonderful. Glad y'all could
Jacob.
Get a quick greeting in before
Jacob Braun.
Between innings. How about this changeup?
How about that changeup is right. That's as pretty as you can throw it.
Here's Nicole Hamoudi. Hammoude. Nicole is hitting a solid 350. There aren't many easy outs in this lineup. There are 3 400 hitters.
This is a solid Bulldog team.
And 3 300 hitters.
Well, I want to call them Texters too, though.
The women's basketball team is known as the Lady Texters. Everybody else goes by Bulldogs. Gutierrez with another sparkling play at first base. Not much gets by on this infield.
No, it doesn't. And there's a shot down the first base line. Look at that backhand play.
She is so limber. She is so nimble. She is so instinctive.
Those long levers she can kind of.
She has leverage defensively. Here's Kylie Neal, a graduate student from Richardson, Texas, and that one is ripped on the ground into center field. The first base hit of the game for Louisiana Tech. It comes with 2 outs. And now Lynch will have to go to work against Brooke Diaz, who's hitting .227. She's making her 11th start. This is the 16th game for the Bulldogs.
5 seniors on the starting lineup here today for the Bulldogs. And as we said, they run rule McNeese earlier in the day.
They've also got 3 juniors, so this is pretty much a veteran lineup.
Should be player led.
The 0-1 pitch to Diaz. That's off the plate. It's 1-1.
Now the Tigers now have 5. You know, at one time it was like 8
left-handed
or
hitters?
7 seniors.
Oh, okay. Let me see how many left-handed hitters are in the lineup.
Well, they've lost 2 in the infield.
How about that play by the young second baseman? Well done by Sierra Daniel. She has plugged in over McNeese. And right now we're in the 2nd inning with LSU batting and scoreless against Louisiana Tech. That's a mid-popper for a strike on Raylene Gutierrez from Brooke Melnichek.
And if she stays there, it's going to be a tough day for all these lefties from LSU to hit that ball.
Yes, it will.
It's her changeup that she left a little short.
There are 8 left-handed batters in the lineup for LSU. The only one who's not is Bergeron. The 1-1 hit right back to the circle on a hop, the underhanded toss, and Melnichek retires Gutierrez.
I guess we're teaching our pitchers how to throw overhand, but you know, that used to be a common thing. Always for the pitcher to run the ball over and underhand toss it. So we haven't seen that in a while.
No, but the platform is easier to me to throw it underhanded, because when you're running and overhanded, it has a tendency to sail or sink.
Ooh, that's a pretty pitch for a leadoff strike. See the change up there.
Josh Taylor, the Louisiana Tech coach who's in his 3rd year, he came over from Nevada. He told me before the game that they feel like they've got a really good chance to win whenever Melnichek is in the circle. And with a 1.48 ERA and a 5-2 record, that bears that out.
Yeah, and she's throwing very well right now. I think their preseason pick to finish 4th in the conference. Liberty, I believe, is picked to win.
Right. The 1-1. Swing and a miss.
That's that pitch that I'm talking about that I don't think they can reach it.
Even if you do, it's going to result in a weak ground ball somewhere. Louisiana Tech hosted the Conference USA tournament last year. The next 2 tournaments have been set elsewhere, but Taylor told me they would like to host the tournament at least every 3 or 4 years. And of course, they've got the new facilities.
Nice facility.
And a great deal of hospitality up in Ruston that is necessary to run a successful tournament.
You know, Lynn, in the 80s, they had the best facility in the country. They were the first ones to have like a real stadium for softball. Going way back when Louisiana Tech was phenomenal. They went to the College World Series.
You know, that's a part of the Tech history that gets lost a bit behind
yeah.
the Lady Techsters in basketball.
Well, they were right. I mean, they weren't winning national championships like the Techsters were, but they were very, very good. And what happened was when softball started to pick up around the country, I don't think Tech put the money in it like everybody else was starting to do, and the program just kind of went by the wayside. But at one point, they were phenomenal. And that girl, a woman named Debbie Nichols, pitched every game, every pitch of every game in a season.
Wow.
And we couldn't beat her.
What was her record, do you recall?
It was in the 30s and whatever, but she was phenomenal.
Wow. She pitched every pitch.
Every pitch. That would probably be child abuse now, but She's fine. I mean, her right arm still works.
Yeah. She can still turn the light on and
Yeah.
off, right?
Well, I guess.
Rudity has just drawn a base on balls. She's done that 12 times this year. And here's Macy Bergeron. We are scoreless in the second. Of course, there are superb facilities again at Louisiana Tech, with the new stadium being opened a couple of seasons ago.
After it was destroyed by what, a tornado?
Yeah, about 4 years ago, maybe more now, but it took a little bit longer to get that replacement stadium than they thought originally, but it's a very, very fine place, all artificial surface on the infield and outfield, which of course
It's a beautiful field.
eliminates the problems with bad weather.
I thought it was the coolest little stadium back then when they first came out. It was so hard to win there.
The 1-2 pitch with 1 out, 1 on. Rudity at first base. Here we go. That pops the mitt, but it's off the strike zone. 2-2 on Bergeron. Maddox McKee, the young third baseman, is on deck. Popped up. Shallow right center field. Center fielder runs a long way to get to it. Alexis Gillio making the play in right center.
Good communication out there. I thought we might have a little bit of a run into each other incident, but not to be. They were talking the whole time.
Here's McKee. This is the third start she's made in the absence of the injured Danica Coffey. And again, if you missed the announcement or the projection that we talked about in the first game, LSU is expected to make an announcement about the severity of the injury to the knee or leg of Danica Coffey, and also give us an update on the potential for her return to play or not this year. Two 2-0 on McKee.
The LSU offense definitely has gone to sleep here today.
Hits and runs have been hard to come by. If it weren't for 4 hits all on the infield in the 6th inning of the first game, it might have been a loss for the Tigers. They came back to win 2-1 after falling behind 1-0.
But that is what the Tigers have done this entire season.
They really have.
They've just found a way to win.
They really have.
They could be tired at this point. 6 games in 3 days. You know, it's not like summer ball anymore. I mean, they've got to go to class. They've got homework. They've got tests. A lot more pressure than just playing 6 games in a weekend in summer ball, where you can sleep till 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Monday.
That's what I plan to do. The 3-1 pitch. Lifted straight back. It'll come back down off the net. 2 outs and a runner at first. Rudity will have the luxury of leaving on a 3-2 count and 2 gone. There she goes. And it's sliced off foul.
He is battling up there.
Hannah Carson is in the on-deck circle. Three straight foul balls on a 3-2 count. Speaking of Louisiana Tech athletics, the Bulldogs men's basketball team has a chance to win the regular season conference championship with a couple of games left. The 3-2 fouled off again. That's 4 in a row spoiled.
It's almost all in the same spot on the backstop.
I know you haven't personally purchased any softballs lately, but what's the going price? Do you have any idea?
No clue. Used to be $60 a dozen, but that was 12 years ago before I retired.
There's a call, third strike. Melnichuk is able to work it in the upper part of the strike zone, and McKee strikes all $9 each.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's Rawlings. Oh, it is Rawlings. It used to be Wilson. See, I've been gone a while. How'd you know it was Rawlings?
I'm looking at that one you're holding.
Yeah, but you were looking at it when you said it?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't look. Used to be that Wilson was the official ball.
That one is a Rawlings ball, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It says
it's got the SEC logo on it.
SEC. $9 a.
So that was like $36 that went down the drain on that 3-2 foul ball sequence. But they did get them back. The 2-0 to Caitlin Cooper. Lynch delivers, swing and a miss. $9 each. That gets a little pricey.
It always has been.
Now, you don't lose as many of them in this game as you do in baseball. They'll go through 50 a game. They rub up about 6 dozen, which is 72.
This is why in Lafayette I was telling people the players to go fish them out of the drains on Bertrand Drive.
Sure.
They thought I was kidding.
You weren't.
It's like, no, go get those balls.
She went upstairs, and it looked like she took something off of it. She comes back and gets the strikeout. Let's watch this again.
Oh, no, that ball's going up the entire time.
It was, but I
She's got that upspin.
I thought she
might
kind of pull the string a little bit. It's a heck of a pitch.
It's moving.
And now Rogers comes to the plate. She swings through the first one.
You know, the scouting report on her is that everything has upspin. We saw it on that pitch.
That kind of looked like a yo-yo, you know, when you put the spin on it and it kind of hangs at the bottom before it shoots back up.
I was never that good. I was good at marbles.
What did they call that? Walk the dog?
Yeah.
I mean, how many times during a college softball broadcast these days do you get references to the 50s?
Yeah, I mean, it's the real world up here.
I'm just waiting for the price of crawfish to get just semi-reasonable.
Might be waiting a while.
I think so. I mean, they're about $1 a piece now, aren't they? I mean,
I don't know, but when you want them, you just eat them.
I know.
You just pay for it.
I know. You just forget the price and do it.
Can I have a half a pound?
Well, Lynch is dealing here.
She is. The last 2 outings have been exactly what I thought we would see from Kelly Lynch.
She got the benefit of the doubt on that call.
Well, both pitchers have, and as I said, if they continue to throw that pitch there and it's called a strike, we're not going to see a lot of hitting.
Claire Rayleigh swings through a pitch that was in tight on her wrists. Rayleigh had a sacrifice bunt last time. The 0-1 on its way. Swing and a miss.
Lynch just, you know, she looks effortless. It doesn't look like doesn't look like she's exerting a lot of energy when she pitches.
Everybody's got their own makeup, their own style, don't they?
You know, if you're a grunter, you need to grunt on every pitch, including your changeup, because you'll give it away if you don't.
I never thought of it like that. That makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely, you're tipping it. I had 2 grunters in Lafayette, and I remember people came over from the practice football field because it's right there, and they wanted to know if everybody was okay. They thought someone got stabbed.
A call, third strike. Rayleigh is left looking. Lynch gets the strikeout pitch working in the third. Right now, the only thing on the scoreboard is quail eggs. 3 zeros for Louisiana Tech, 2 for the Tigers as they bat in the bottom of the third. Both starting pitchers have been superb.
Quail eggs, do you eat them?
Never have.
I do, pickled.
Never have tried that. I've seen them in jars in stores all over the place.
Kind of a little too tart, though, sometimes.
What do they taste like?
It's just like a little boiled egg, but it's kind of a little bit too vinegary, and they have jalapenos in them. You can only eat 1 or 2 before your mouth doesn't just go into lockjaw phase.
Now, they're smaller than chicken eggs, right?
Yep. Ooh.
That's a foul ball. The umpire down there had to turn into a question mark to avoid getting hit.
Can't believe you've never eaten quail eggs.
I have not. I've seen them. I've seen people eat them with Tabasco sauce, too.
Yep,
Put a drop or 2 of Tabasco on.
Sometimes they're swimming in it.
Same texture as a chicken egg?
It's just like a little boiled egg. It's exactly the same.
Would they be good for the Easter knock-knock?
Pâté?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never really seen them in the shell, now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So these are shelled.
Yeah, like you said, in the jar.
I mean, they're ready to
eat.
store.
Yeah.
You don't have to peel them.
Yeah, and they're already boiled and all that stuff.
Carson delivers the first base hit for the Tigers.
Look, we got a base hit here.
And that at bat, she sprayed one to the right side, and then she goes back and singles through the left side.
Well, just to my point exactly, this is a Tiger team that can go with the pitch. They are just not they are utilizing the entire field for their offense instead of just being one-dimensional.
Here's Sierra Daniel. 11 for 25 on the year. And LSU will insert a pinch runner. This is Madeline Gilio. Most of the time, she's the first off the bench in the pinch running role. And said to be the swiftest Tiger.
I think you might have an argument about that.
I could put 3 or 4 other candidates up there and would like to see them in a 40-yard dash.
This is according to the team, so we have to go with that.
Sure. LSU will take on Kentucky on the road to open the SEC season, and that's not far away. There you see the building clouds, but I think we're going to be fine tonight. We may get some precipitation early in the week. But Yvette, you're right. The forecast a week ago looked horrible.
So lucky.
And suddenly it cleared out enough on Friday. Yesterday was gorgeous. Today's been fine as well. The 1-0 pitch to Sierra. She pops that bunt foul. Now here's a lesson. Don't jab at a bunt. Don't jab at it to try to bunt it. Let the ball come to you. And she tried to jab at it, and that's what you're going to get more often than not.
Yep, the bat's got to be like your glove. You're trying to catch the ball.
She uses that split grip.
Ooh, she got rid of that quick.
Well done by Claire Rayleigh, the third baseman.
She didn't waste too many steps getting rid of the ball.
And this is one of the beautiful things I like about defense in softball. Everybody on the infield was moving. Third baseman was charging. First baseman was charging. Shortstop was running to cover third behind the committed third baseman. And the second baseman was covering first.
We have a called out on who?
All right, what's going on here?
Yep, here we go again.
Well, that was the out at first base on the bunt.
All right, well, what's the big presentation about?
They still got Daniel on the scoreboard as the hitter. Now they change it. She's out on the sacrifice, 5-3 or 5-4. Giglio at second. She would score on just about any kind of a hit beyond the infield. And back to the top of the order we go for Briggs and her .339 average. She has grounded out to the shortstop Hamoudi. The 0-2 pitch, wasted wide.
Not a very usable pitch. It was so far outside.
This game in the bottom of the third is tighter than 3 pounds of boudin in a 1 pound casing.
You trying to make me hungry?
I kind of think we're both partial to cracklings right now.
I had a dentist tell me he's fixed more cracked teeth because of crackling than anything.
That means they were cooked right, though. Here's the 2-2 pitch, or 2-1. Oh, Briggs just got a piece of it, sliced off a little bit of a sliver.
Yeah, there's that tremendous pitch on the outside corner.
Both starting pitchers have been superb. We've had 1 hit for each team. Brooke Melnichuk, the Canadian, ready to rock and roll, the 2-2. She spoiled it again, just got a little piece of it off the cap of the bat.
The Chuck is a Canuck.
Well done.
You ever been to Saskatchewan?
Not Saskatchewan, but I've been to Canada, both the east and west part of it. It's a gorgeous country.
Yes, it is.
That New Brunswick area, Prince Edward Island on the east coast. Went to Newfoundland years ago for supposedly the 1,000th anniversary of Leif Anderson's arrival on the North American continent. That's hit sharply to the third baseman. Looks Giglio back and then gets rid of it. Oh, that's nicely done by Rayleigh.
She's got a gun. She just pulled that out of the holster. As you said, she checked the runner and just gunned it over to first. And everything that you do in this game, especially with slappers, has to be quick.
And you cannot hesitate 1 iota with Briggs running.
And you're right. I mean, it's just a glance to hold her, and then you got to get rid of it.
So here's Newland. Let's see if she can do again what she's been doing so successfully all year, and that is scoring runners. Newland leads the team with 13 bases on balls. She's reached safely in every game this year. That's before tonight. Still looking to get on base after 1 at bat. And also is hitting .588 with runners in scoring position. This is popped up. The second baseman is calling for it. Eason squeezes it, and Louisiana Tech wiggles past a hot coal here in the third. Coverage of LSU baseball as well on the SEC ESPN network. And looking forward to that, to the start of conference play soon. Tell a friend about the game. We've got a good one going, scoreless in the fourth.
And the Bulldogs have 7 transfers on this team. Ole Miss, BYU, Cal, Iowa Western, Louisiana, Utah State, Oregon State.
Lynch struck out the side in the third. It's Gillio, Esom, and Sini. 3, 4, and 5 in the order for the Bulldogs. And the 1-1 popped out into left field. It'll carry to Newland. She doesn't have to move much.
The goose eggs up there on that scoreboard. 1 hit apiece.
0, 1, and 0 for both teams. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Pleasance.
How about this play?
Remarkable. Absolutely remarkable.
You know,
that is Ozzie Smith in baseball reincarnated.
I mean, not only does she cover that territory, she's so strong, and you don't see this too much in the females game. Look, she doesn't take a step. She just turns and throws.
Yvette, you don't see it at all. That's the best arm at shortstop in this game.
Most girls have to take a step to throw the ball,
if not more than one. That was amazing. Just incredible, the leverage she gets from just about any throwing posture.
And she just made that look routine. There's nothing routine about that play.
I mean, that is as good as it gets.
And we thought we had seen some good ones before with Surratt.
Well, we have.
We have,
but
you're right.
Nobody like that. There are those, when Pleasance arrived on this campus, and some veteran baseball watchers who said, you know, if she were playing baseball, she wouldn't be in college. She would be a first-round draft pick out of high school.
Absolutely. And so somebody else that's not affiliated with this program is the one that planted that saying in my head. If she was on my team, she'd be the first one off the bus to intimidate everybody.
Nicely done by Lynch as she runs down the little roller off the bat of Sini. And we move forward as we approach the 10th. And LSU in those 10 innings has a total of 2 runs.
Yeah.
Over the last 2 games. But the pitching has held up its end of the deal.
There's a hit.
And it's Taylor Pleasance who delivers.
And there's a good sign.
She's coming off a sensational play from deep in the hole at shortstop and then just ropes it out into center field for a base hit. That's her 2nd hit of this tournament. And only the 2nd hit for the Tigers against Brooke Melnichuk. Here's Gutierrez, who rolled back to the pitcher last time. Ball 1. Ball 2.
You're not bunting Gutierrez. Doesn't look like they pinch running Pleasance. Did she get pinch run already?
No.
Wondering why you don't do it now. It's getting late.
This may fall. That's down on the grass. That ball was trapped. Cooper did everything she could, charging in left field, but it fell just in front of her glove. And the Tigers, for the first time in this game, get a pair of base runners.
It kind of was blocked. I couldn't tell if she caught it or not. Yep. Almost came up with a fabulous catch.
Here's Mackenzie Rudidy, who walked in the 2nd. That's a high zone strike. Ruderty from Franklin, North Carolina.
The only North Carolinian ever in an LSU softball uniform. Good one, though.
Indeed.
We're resetting the clock here.
LSU is 1 for 5 with runners on base today, and 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position, and had difficulty in those categories in the first game against the Cowgirls of McNeese. Ruderty swings through that one.
That pitch that just keeps climbing up. Just keeps spinning up.
Well, Melnichuk, in 6 starts now and 9 appearances, has a very small ERA, and she strikes out Ruderty. Ruderty could not lay off that pitch. The runners do not advance. There's 1 out.
Can't lay off of it and can't reach it. It's the kryptonite right there.
That is the 3rd strikeout by LSU hitters. Melnichuk has only walked 1. The runners are still at second and first with 1 out, and here's Bergeron.
Melnichuk has been good.
Yes, she has. And we knew she had that potential with a 1.48 ERA coming in. 21 hits in 33 innings allowed, and 21 strikeouts against only 7 walks.
I wonder if she's in the Canadian system for softball.
No problem for Gilio in center field, and there are 2 outs.
I meant the national teams. Didn't kind of explain that too well.
Maddox McKee is scheduled to hit. Let's see if somebody else comes out. It looks like Sydney Peterson is going to bat for Maddox McKee.
Peterson, before she got hurt, played a very good second base. She got so much depth on the infield.
Well, we are told
she
can
sat out
also
last
play
year.
third, right?
Yeah, she sat out last year.
She's got a chance to drive in the first run of the game. Ball 1 inside. Pleasance is at second base. Gutierrez is at first with 2 outs. They got there with no outs, but a strikeout and a fly ball to center have pushed Louisiana Tech closer to getting back to the dugout.
Peterson hasn't played very much this year, but she gets a base hit here. She might find herself in the lineup.
She pops it up to right field. Rogers is there. Rogers squeezes it, and LSU's threat with the first 2 aboard amounts to nothing. We move on to the 5th inning. We are still scoreless. Kylie Neal and Brooke Diaz scheduled to hit against Kelly Lynch. She's allowed 1 base hit. This is Taylor Pleasance. Fires it over to first. 1 pitch, 1 gone. She has walked 1 and struck out 4. She walked the first batter she saw in the first inning, but none since then. And she has retired 8 in a row since Neal came to the plate in the second inning and delivered the only base hit.
Neal is a transfer from the Raging Cajuns.
Let's check some SEC scores along the way as we get a chance. In the Woo Pig Classic, Arkansas 6-5 over Southeast Missouri State.
You call them the Hogs, right?
I'm just trying to
Hope they don't come running over the berm or something.
Have a little fun here. Auburn shut out North Texas 8-0 and beat USC Upstate, that's South Carolina Upstate, 8-4. Swing and a miss. Stanford knocked off Georgia. It took 9 innings to do it. They're playing out in Palo Alto, California. It was 3-1 Stanford over Georgia.
Two very good teams.
Fordham defeated Kentucky 10-8, and then Kentucky came back with an 8-1 win over UNC Wilmington. Ole Miss 7, UAB nothing. That's a final. Mississippi State took care of Alcorn State 15-0, and then beat Samford 11-1. Missouri over Nebraska 5-1. And also over Wichita State 8-2. Missouri a double winner. Tennessee 3, Stetson 2. That's a final. That's in Knoxville.
That's a close one.
And then
Tennessee's
Tennessee
very good.
knocked off Longwood 12-1.
Where is Longwood?
I once knew. I'll get that for you. This is flied out to center field. Briggs is waiting. I think Longwood's in Tennessee, but we'll check on that. And South Carolina is a winner over Princeton 4-1. And you're up to date involving SEC teams today as everybody gets ready for the start of the league. Here's Diaz, who popped up to second base. Well
Nice
played
pick.
by McKee and gets it over to first.
Nice pick.
Indeed it was. So a 1-2-3 inning. That's one. We have been studiously doing research between innings, and Longwood is in Farmville, Virginia.
I think the birthplace of LaDanya Hughes. Who
You were
was,
asking from
Yes.
what state?
but she was an
Longwood is.
All-American center fielder for LSU. One of the starts of the great line of center fielders for the Tigers.
But here's something I'll bet you didn't know. I certainly did not.
Let's see.
Farmville, Virginia is America's oldest two-college town. The first city in America with 2 colleges. Unfortunately, my information does not indicate what the other college is.
The first city, okay, because, I mean, we got Southern and LSU.
Oh, sure, but I'm talking
yeah,
about
right, the
hundreds
first.
of years ago, maybe. Farmville, Virginia.
Yep, you're right. I didn't know that. And once again,
Oh, I had no clue.
once again, we're all learning together here. It's not just about softball.
No, we're going to have a mid-season test, and then we'll have a final in May. Oh, now I know. More research coming in as we speak. Hampton, Hampden, Hampton-Sydney College.
Oh, D-O-N. Yeah, I was thinking Hampton and the historically black colleges, but it's not.
Yeah,
So go ahead.
Hampden/Sydney College is the other school.
Never heard of it. You?
They've never heard of you either,
Yeah, I know that.
or me.
Unless they're watching this. It's a cool. Never heard of you.
3-2 on Carson.
Doesn't make it untrue.
No. Carson belts it. Hit pretty well out to center field, and Gilio drifts to her left. Gilio looks like a natural out there, doesn't she? She gets a
She
good
does.
jump. She's got a good arm, rangy, good speed.
Her name's so close to Gilio on LSU's team, but not quite. Need another G.
Here's Daniel. Sierra had a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd inning. Strike 1 from Brooke Melnichuk. Daniel is retired by her counterpart, Esom.
It's becoming Groundhog Day here.
Well, I'll tell you what. Melnichuk is matching pitch for pitch Kelly Lynch.
Yep. It's definitely a pitcher's duel here.
Center fielder, number 88, Sierra Prince.
The Tigers got back-to-back singles by Pleasance and Gutierrez in the fourth, and then Melnichuk retired the next three. And she's gotten two more here in the fifth. Riggs has grounded out twice, both to the left side.
Trouble. How about
Out
that?
on a very close play.
How about that?
Hamoudi uncorks a laser from deep in the hole at shortstop, doing her best imitation of Taylor of LSU's Pleasance. Well, let's turn our attention briefly to baseball. In Houston, LSU is leading Texas State in the ninth inning, 10-3. Josh Pearson hit a home run for the Tigers. Paxton Kling has 2 runs driven in. So has Hayden Travinsky, and so has Stephen Milam. LSU up by 7 in the ninth in the Astros Classic. Hey, let's put this in perspective, gang. Between the baseball team and the softball team, there's been 1 loss. That's it.
A lot of happy fans for the Diamond Sports.
And Yvette, I do not have an accurate number here, but I will mention that this spring, right now, LSU has like 7 or 8 teams in the top 10.
Rolling. A lot of happy faces in Tigerland.
So let me just try to throw these out off the top of my head. Let's count them up. Women's basketball, baseball, softball, beach volleyball. One of the tennis teams is, I don't know if it's the men's or the women's.
Golf.
And I think one of the golf teams is gymnastics, of course. But I mean, it's a.
We're at 7 right now.
Yeah, it's a banner year right now among sports that are in progress in the top 10. Somebody mentioned swimming. I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's just about all the sports that LSU offers.
Let's get back to
Track and field.
Let's get back to softball because we've got a dandy going.
Women's.
But it's a bunch with national acclaim at this point. We're in the 6th inning here. Louisiana Tech and LSU. No score. Lynch has been dealing for LSU, and Melnichuk in the circle for Louisiana Tech the same.
Some of those sports you mentioned have a real chance for national championships. Gymnastics, baseball looks pretty good again.
2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. And you mentioned earlier about the disposition of Lynch.
It's just
I mean, it
flat.
is laid back.
It's flat. Like, hey, what's happening? Perfect for a pitcher.
There's another strikeout.
Never gets too excited, doesn't do any fist pumping, kind of kudos to her catcher.
11 in a row, retired since the base hit by Neal in the 2nd inning.
It's just a beautiful rise ball that she throws.
You know, Lynch is just so calm, almost hidden out there. I think you could put her in a Kim Mulkey outfit and still nobody would recognize her. I mean, she is just that laid back.
It'd make you look twice, that's for sure.
I don't know that you'd
outfit.
notice her. I mean, she's just
I don't think it would be legal for her to pitch with a Kim Mulkey outfit.
No, but it's just so,
Yep.
you know, she'd be the last person in the room that you might notice.
You're right.
Even with a Mulkey outfit.
And they say she has a very dry sense of humor, so it kind of goes with the whole persona out there. Georgia girl who went to Washington, now in Louisiana, and I think she wants to travel. Good for her.
Well, we've got a connection with Longwood I didn't even know about. This is the school we were inquiring about in Virginia. One of our really talented graphics people, in fact, is in charge of graphics in this game, Taylor Brooks. Her mom went to Longwood.
Oh, look at that. Small world. We just put that out in the universe and we always get some kind of answer that ties it all in.
Newland grabs it out in left field. And this brings on Claire Rayleigh. Louisiana Tech has not had a base runner since a 2-out single by Neal in the second inning. But on the other hand, LSU's offense has been completely stymied as well.
Definitely no offensive explosions in this game, but that is the way this game can happen sometimes. In the blink of an eye, there's a run. And I'm not talking about a home run, just things that happen.
Rayleigh has a sacrifice bunt and a strikeout.
What'd you say the baseball score was? They played a lot of ball games in one weekend.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Of course, they're used to that.
10-3 in the ninth. LSU up on Texas State.
So they will have gone unbeaten, right, in that tournament?
Uh-huh.
Which is in the Astrodome, right? Well, it's not called Astrodome. Minute Maid. I think it'll always be the Astrodome for me.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on base. We're in the 6th inning. Here we go. Lynch to Rayleigh. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 6 for Lynch against 1 walk. Bottom of the 6th inning, about to get started. With Yvette Girard, I'm Lynn Rollins.
Have we had a runner on third base this game for either team? I don't think so. Second was it, right?
LSU has not. Nor has Louisiana Tech. There was a runner thrown out at third base in the 1st inning. And precious few base runners for either team. Newland and Pleasance and Gutierrez for the Tigers. Brooke Melnichuk has been matching wonderful pitches with Lynch. Newland has struck out and popped up to second base. There goes another $9.
Did they get to keep it? Wait, did it really go in the stands?
No, the net intercepted
That's what I thought.
think.
I know they get to keep it on, well, maybe it's changed. In baseball, it's a given, right?
Oh, yeah, you don't ever throw them back, no. 1-2 pitch.
Ooh.
Lined to the glove of the shortstop. Hamoudi timed her leap beautifully. Goes high and snares it in the webbing of her glove.
This has been a really well-played ball game.
Watch this liner, and Hamoudi with a perfectly executed jump and catch. Well, Josh Taylor, the coach for Louisiana Tech, told me before the game that he really liked his team, but he wanted them to be sharper defensively. They have certainly done that today.
They have. Moody is from Oakland, California.
Taylor Pleasance at the plate. There's her third hit of the weekend. She's 2 for 3 today.
And that's back-to-back balls that are hit very well.
So Pleasance is aboard after the liner to the shortstop was caught for the out.
See if the Tech bullpen gets adjusted. Now, I'm not saying pull her, but LSU kind of made a few little adjustments here with the last 2 hitters.
Gutierrez is 1 for 2. Louisiana Tech.
But like I said all night long, as long as they get that call right there, that's why we're seeing goose eggs.
Gutierrez followed the Pleasance base hit in the 4th with one of her own. She's trying to duplicate it in the 6th.
Oh, there's another one.
That's down in fair territory. Pleasance cannot advance past second. Gutierrez has followed the last 2 Taylor Pleasance base hits with one of her own.
Well, we have a timeout by the Bulldogs. Yep, here we go. And I think they're making a change, so I guess they did have somebody in the pen. They're not in the pen, they are in the dugout waiting.
Brooke Melnichuk has been brilliant, but she has surrendered 2 consecutive base hits after a line out on the infield.
She was magnificent.
She certainly was. Allie Floyd is coming out of the bullpen. We'll take a pitching change timeout and be back. Can LSU punch through in the 6th? We'll find out in a moment. We are scoreless, Louisiana Tech and LSU. Welcome back, everyone. We have our first pitching change of the night. It's Allie Floyd replacing Brooke Melnichuk. Melnichuk leads, having surrendered no runs and 5 hits to this point. But there are 2 Tigers aboard with 1 out, and Mackenzie Rudity has a chance to provide the first run for LSU. Rudity has walked and struck out. It's Allie Floyd in the circle.
Floyd throws a curve, a screw, a rise, and a drop. Speeds are at 66 and 54. Allie Floyd leads Tech in innings pitch, strikeouts. She was named Conference USA Pitcher of the Week on February 26th.
And we've got pinch runners for LSU. Maya Townsend has gone into second base to run. And we've got Savannah Bedell running at first base. So Bedell is the pinch runner at first, and Townsend likewise at second. Here we go. Fouled back. 2 strikes on Rudity. Melnichuk leads after winning a 3-1 game against San Diego State and a 4-2 win over Illinois.
But no question, they were starting to figure her out a little bit.
Tonight was her longest outing at 5 1/3 innings.
Hit 3 hard hit balls back to back to back. But no damage still.
Not yet. Bergeron is on deck. Newland lined out to the shortstop. Pleasance and Gutierrez had solid singles. Now we've got pinch runners at second and first. The pitch to Rudity. Oh, she'd like to have that one back. Slice that one a little bit under the center. Tried to get the center cut swing, but instead we got flank steak.
Still pretty good.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's nubbed off the end of the bat, and that's a really good pitch by Floyd.
Yeah, and I think she was trying to just foul that out, off. We'll see if Tech has a 1-2 punch here.
Can the Tigers rally and break through in a scoreless game, bottom of the 6th inning? Here we go. Swing and a miss. Rudity chased the ball that was out of the strike zone. That had that lift to it, and Rudity could not stay away from it.
That upspin.
Here comes Macy Bergeron. Twice she has flied to center field. Floyd is trying to cast ice on this rally by the Tigers.
See that curveball breaking from up here. She's going to throw a ton of curveballs.
1-0 to the sophomore Macy Bergeron. The count is 2-0. The wind has accelerated. It's blowing from left to right.
It has kicked up. Didn't even notice that.
12, 15 miles an hour right now. Here we go at 2-0. Catcher setting up outside. That's where the pitch was. Check swing foul. You got the American flag, you've got the state flag, you've got the LSU flag out there. And then to the right of that, SEC flags. The 2-1 pitch to Bergeron with the game getting late. Bergeron dumps it off into right field. Right fielder charging, dives, does not catch it. She says she does. The umpire said no. Tigers are coming to the plate, and LSU takes the lead.
I'm sure we're going to have the headsets on here, but if she indeed caught it,
if she catches it, they'll have to reset. The umpires will reset what they thought would happen. But we've got to get this.
But wait, if she caught it, it's 3 outs.
Yes, it is. Yes, that's the 3rd out. So this literally could be a game-changing
this could be the ball game
decision.
Here.
One whale of an effort by Elena Rogers in right field. She came up joyously. Let's take another look at this.
Did she?
No, she didn't.
Good call, Blue.
He's right there. Good angle.
Good fake. You got to try something.
That ball looked like it got a piece of the ground, and then her body covered it up, and she came up with it in her hand.
And look, he's right there, so he's in a great position.
He is. So that is going to be, we think, a clutch base hit by Macy Bergeron.
And
both
they're
bench
out.
runners scored. And we'll wait for the official decision. But I think this is going to go LSU's way.
Yep. And they did it awfully quick, so that kind of tells you something.
So upheld means it was clearly what the original call was. Yeah, the ball's loose right there.
Yeah, and you see, that's what I'm talking about. You can't always believe the players. But hey, she's got to do that.
A 2-run single by Bergeron.
And that more than likely probably will decide the game the way it's been going.
The runs come late for the Tigers. They finally get one in the 6th inning. Got 2 on that RBI single to right. Almost a heck of a catch by Rogers. But now it is Maddox McKee. Both of those runs are charged to the starter Melnichuk,
who was very, very good tonight.
She indeed was. And you can see the wisdom of Josh Taylor when he said, whenever Melnichuk is in the circle, we feel like we've got a very legitimate chance to win, no matter the opponent. And she pitched like it. There's a looper off the bat of McKee down to the first baseman, Cini, and that retires the side on the.
And if this score holds up, they will have found another way to claw out a victory.
Gilio, Alexis Gilio, who's 0 for 2, is the first hitter. She'll be followed by Eason and then Cini.
Tell you, this is a different looking Tech team than we saw the last time we saw them play. There's a base hit here.
Easily so.
They're not finished yet.
Gilio with a lot of speed, got that bunt down, and then easily beat the throw from McKee. That is only the second base hit off of Kelly Lynch and the first base runner since back in the second inning.
And you know, it's a bunt, but in the scorebook, it's a hit. No one will ever know that it was a bunt for a hit. Find a way to get on.
That broke a string of 13 consecutive batters retired by Lynch. LSU has bullpen activity going. I cannot see specifically who it is. I'm betting on Berzon.
Berzon.
That's who I'm betting on.
I don't think we need binoculars or another set of eyes to tell us that.
Well, she's already saved 2 games, both of them yesterday. Berzon has 2 wins and 2 saves in this tournament. Two balls and a strike on Caroline Eason.
As we talk about, Berzon, first freshman since Carly Hoover, first freshman All-American. Double play ball.
Pleasant steps on the bag, whips it over to first base. 1 pitch, 2 gone. LSU ended the prior game on a double play.
You know, I'm sure the Tigers have somebody really good coming in to play shortstop, but that girl's going to be missed.
Well, she does things that are very, very uncommon.
Well, she just got to that ball. That ball was a base hit up the middle.
Now it's Aubrey Cini, a senior from Florida. She has struck out and bounced back to the circle. Lynch, an out away from a shutout victory.
The Tiger faithful will stand.
2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-0 LSU in the 7th. Will the Tigers remain unbeaten? Yes, they will. A called 3rd strike on the outside corner, and this game is over. A hard fought, well played, 2-0 victory for the LSU Tigers, who win every game in this tournament. They've won every game this year. They are 19-0